Hey there YouTube, Travis here. So we are at a pretty exciting part of the Baker's Dozen build. We have a lot of the parts in, and this isn't really an unboxing video, but I wanted to take the opportunity to kind of go through some of the things that we've amassed, talk about them. There's some pretty cool and unique parts here. Some of this stuff has only been available recently. And so I thought it'd just be fun to take a look through this box where I've been kind of storing all of the parts for the build, and just kind of go over what we have and what role it's going to play in the overall Hobbit build. Alright, so we'll start talking about some engine parts here. So first, here on the right, we have, of course, our DR70cc kit. We get some gaskets on top there. They included some stickers. And here it is. Oof, it's heavier than you'd think. Again, this is a nice cast iron kit. So I am pretty excited about this. Then over here we have the performance HOBBIT crankshaft. We have new bearings. Up here, treats also packed in this box. We're going to do a conversion from cylinder head bolts, because Honda Hobbits have really long bolts. We're going to convert and run some studs with nuts on one end instead. And okay, next up, this is the Treats black pipe. Man, this thing is it's just big. I am really excited to have this thing all mounted up. And like Hobbits, you have this movable piece for the top of the pipe. I mean, this thing is just giant. I'm really stoked to see what this looks like when it's all assembled. And for our carburation, nothing fancy here. This is just a Mikuni VM20. Same exact carburetor that's on the Mini Magnum, and same exact carburetor that's on the MB5. So how are we going to mount this nice flange mount carburetor onto the Honda Hobbit? Well, that's where this comes in. This is a 1977 Mopeds VM20 intake for Honda Hobbit. And I didn't actually order this direct from 1977 Mopeds. This was a hookup from Chad Burke of Quarter Kick Mopeds, also in Kalamazoo. He had this from a box of parts that he had bought. And as far as I can tell, this thing doesn't look like it's actually been used. And one less thing that we'll have to make ourselves. So because we are running MB5 forks, we have new fork seals and new fork booties for the MB5 forks so that they can be rebuilt. And because we're going to be having a disc brake for the front, this is a new master cylinder. This is one of the budget master cylinders from Treats. I actually have this exact same one on my MB5, and so far my experience thus far has been very positive with it, no complaints. So I've got a new master cylinder, and then we also have a new, this is again one of the budget throttles, but this should work out just fine. Okay, next up, this is the Trickmetric Variator for Honda Hobbit. This is a new part for the end of 2016, early 2017. Before this, mostly your aftermarket options were, realistically just the TJT Variator. This one was slightly cheaper. We're hoping it's going to be a little bit easier to install than a TJT. I've been doing some advanced reading, even looking at some feedback on the Moped Army forums between Walt of Trickmetric and some other forum viewers who have purchased this already. I'm a little curious to see how this stock rollers, or the rollers it comes with, I guess, perform. He seems to indicate that with some sliders we might see some additional top-end speed. But we'll see. I'm really curious to try this out. Now, for our ignition, I'm hoping to have a setup here that's more reliable than just points. So that's where this comes in. As far as I can tell, this is a tough one. I don't believe that this is a 1977 Mopeds CDI, though I could be wrong. Maybe it's one that's well used. but this might be a late-stage HOBBIT factory CDI. I'm genuinely not sure. I don't know very much about these, but I do know it's a CDI for HOBBIT. It's been tested. This is from someone local. A friend of mine hooked me up with this, but he had purchased it on Moped Army some time ago, and I mean really some time ago. So who knows? He chose to run a HPI instead, so he was willing to sell me this. It comes with everything, flywheel, a couple different boxes here. We'll see, maybe we'll get lucky and one of them will have a curve. So we have, hopefully, a nice reliable CDI. The same guy, also, I don't have it really on video here, but I have a picture, also got the hookup on a Honda Camino rear pulley. So this is huge. It's a better design than stock. It's going to variate better. I'm pretty excited, and the particular Camino pulley is actually in pretty nice shape also. So that was one of the local guys here from one of the riding groups, Uphill Battle. So the next item we have here, building off the lessons of Pinball Run, and also watching some of the other teams that had Honda Hobbits with the stock Hobbit gas tank and them having to stop so frequently. My Hobbit will be getting a support welded and this tank added. Now, those of you who know your bikes, you may already know what this is. This is actually a Harley-Davidson tank. This is from a probably mid-1960s Harley-Davidson M50 moped. You can see on the top it gives you some instructions for mixing some SAE 40 oil. And this tank is actually in really nice shape. We have an oil mixing cup built in, and just look at that inside. Wow. So this tank is in pretty much ready to run condition. We've got a petcock here. This thing should do quite nice. The local hookup friend of mine also included one of these, pieces here so we can run a bar easier. This is just a rubber piece. It didn't come with this tank originally. So inside here, I mean, this is nothing noteworthy. These are the budget tires, tubes, and rim strips that you can get from Treats. We've got a gasket down here for the transmission. And then we also, inside here, have a gasket for the cases. So the rebuild is going to be happening here soon. Of course, YouTube will have the camera along for that as well. I am really looking forward to putting all this together. So, alright YouTube, well, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of these parts. I'm really curious to see how well everything's going to work together and what the finished product is going to be. Thanks for watching this video series. I know it's a little different than the type of videos I usually make, but I'm really excited about Baker's Dozen Run, and I appreciate you guys sticking along for the ride. Alright YouTube, until next time.